Happy New Year to you. I hope and pray that you have already made 25 resolutions so that you can break 24 of them by tomorrow. So I don't know. Do you make resolutions? Raise your hand if you make resolutions. So, put my hand down. I don't anymore. I used to make resolutions, I think, years ago. I don't remember. It's a big deal for me. December 31st is always a big deal. January 1st is always a big deal. I take a long walk and run on New Year's Day, and usually take walks with my kids and my wife, and just kind of get into that frame of mind, prayerful and thinking about what's ahead for the year. But I'm also reflective on this day, December 31st, of all the grace that God has poured out on my life. And I hope and pray that you'll see that too. I don't know what the year has held for you, but I sure hope and pray that in the highs and lows and the ups and downs and all the stuff, in the tears of joy and the tears of sadness, you have found God's grace to be consistent and to be such a strength for you, such a source of strength. I hope and pray that you will find that to be true in 2025, just as you found it to be true in 2024. Amen. All right, we're going to jump into this verse. So like last week, verse 15, we're going to look at one verse this week. Verse 14, last week, had, if you remember, be devoted to God, be devoted to being right with God and right with men. Talked about being holy before the Lord, talked about also living at peace with man. Remember that? The writer of Hebrews said, live at peace with all people and be holy. So there's this God relationship going on. There's this man relationship going on. Same thing. Look at this. Very similar, but interesting. Look at this in verse 15. Look after each other so that none of you fails to receive the grace of God. It doesn't say be careful that you receive the grace of God. Look after each other so no one fails to receive the grace of God. So our job is to make sure everyone receives the grace of God. That's our job. Part of our job is to make sure that no one fails to receive the amazing grace of God. We're not done. The second part of verse 15, watch out that no poisonous fruit of bitterness grows up to trouble you, corrupting many. Interesting. It says, first of all, I want to point out this. Watch out that no poisonous fruit of bitterness grows up to trouble you, singular, corrupting many, plural. One root of bitterness affects a lot of people. Okay? Your bitterness isn't just your bitterness. Your bitterness affects everybody. Okay? But look at this. Put the two together. So it sounds like to me that when someone fails to receive the grace of God, they are more prone to the poisonous root of bitterness. When I make sure that someone is receiving the grace of God, then I'm helping them somehow eliminate, or at least be better at eliminating, any poisonous root of bitterness. They're connected. You hear that? You see that? There is a connection between grace and bitterness. In the fact of, if I don't help people see the grace of God in their life, then chances are they may grow bitter. But if I help them, if I'm a conduit to the grace of God, I receive grace, give grace, I help people see grace, the grace of God, chances are they're not going to be bitter. If you've got the grace of God in your life, you probably can't be bitter. Right? I've been a pastor for 27 years. Is that right? 27 years, I think. There has been a lot of hurts in my life. I've been wounded and hurt. I've hurt and wounded other people. I regret every single one of those hurts. There's not a single person who has left this church that I've been excited about, that I've been glad. I have wept over every person that's ever been hurt by my words or my actions. I have wept over every person who's ever left any church I've ever pastored. This one for the last 20 years. It would be easy to hang on to hurt. I've learned that the more you hang on to hurt, that's where the poisonous root of bitterness grows. You gotta let go of the hurt. What helps you let go of the hurt? The grace of God. The grace that God's given you to forgive. The grace God has given you to relinquish, to release. The grace that God has given you in His forgiveness of you is the same grace we give others who hurt us. So I pray that you will be devoted to eliminating all bitterness. It's poisonous. It's antithetical to grace. I pray you are devoted to allowing more grace in your life. So let's be devoted to make sure no one misses grace. Amen? And let's be devoted to eliminate all bitterness. The two are connected. Be blessed. Happy New Year. Let's be devoted together.